there is a patent pending for a second application or use of the same basic reactor design. And that is to react with carbon dioxide, the problem gas, according to many people, particularly from the emission of the coal. Research has been done on using a certain type of rock, actually a certain grouping of rocks called mafic or basic rocks, especially the ultramafic rocks and metamorphic variants of that like serpentine and asbestos and so forth. But these are silicate rocks. These are calcium and especially magnesium silicate. Magnesium is more efficient in gobbling up, if you will, the carbon dioxide. If you look at the models for carbon dioxide removal from our environment, it is based on reacting with rock. And the rock that it reacts with, most commonly in nature, are these basic or mafic rocks. There have been some studies done to show that if the rock is ground up and heated strongly with a mixture of water and carbon dioxide, again in these closed containers under laboratory conditions, that the reaction goes very quickly and you end up with a magnesium calcium carbonate as the rock disintegrates, and you end up with basically clay materials from the residue of the rock. So I got the idea, well, we use the same reactor. Instead of putting a slurry of coal, we put a slurry of this mafic or ultramafic rock, ground up, mixed with water, and then pumped into the deep well, the reactor, along with lots of carbon dioxide. For example, from the exhaust stream of a electrical generating station. So instead of just exhausting it to the atmosphere, you exhaust it to a series of these reactor pipes. And then it would go down at the base, it would react, form essentially a low-grade concrete, which when it comes up can be used maybe to backfill where the material, the mafic material came from, or it could be used for paving blocks or sound walls or whatever. So this is another use of this reactor. Another possibility with that is to go to some area in a volcanic region, like maybe out in the Pacific Northwest or even Hawaii, which are basically made out of these mafic rocks, and there's carbon dioxide being emitted naturally in large quantities from openings in these volcanoes. They go into the atmosphere. Nature doesn't care whether the carbon dioxide is coming from natural sources or whether it's coming from the exhaust pipe of a car. It's still carbon dioxide. So if you could then capture a portion of this, cause the reaction to occur, and basically solidify this carbon dioxide, you could match what is being produced elsewhere in large separate entities like automobiles with a few large single capture zones, and basically balance out the production and removal of carbon dioxide that way.